Welcome to Azure Radio Show. This is another great episode for Data Science Jumpstart. I'm very honored that today I am being joined with my peer Anna. Anna,
Hi, Shimai. How are you? Thank you for inviting me and participating in this great session. My name is Anna Del Campo. I'm a cloud solution architect with Microsoft. I work closely with Shimael, and we focus on EDU, higher education, K-12. With our client, we help them do data science and all that fun stuff.
perfect. Thanks, Anna. I think as we explained in our last episode, that every time you will come to a new episode, we will be creating a scenario, as small as possible scenario. We'll cover that scenario and we will jump to a next scenario and show it how exactly in the small chunks you can get a better jump start on Azure Data Science platform. So today's scenario is that yes, we do understand that this data scientist can come to Azure platform or Azure for Cloud platform, Azure Cloud for Research platform, and then can get the data science virtual machines up and ready quickly in few minutes because you have certain core memory and processing requirements. But as a data scientist, if what is available beyond data science virtual machine, much easier, much quicker, much rapidly available environments where I can still be a Python developer, I still can execute the Python, but more efficiently, more speedily, and more cost effectively. So today Anna will be showing you a couple of things which are binded under that heading of platform services. So data science virtual machine you saw, we call them slightly on the infrastructure side of the services or infrastructure as service. Today Anna will be showing us the flavor of two great platform services. So Anna will be actually giving us an outlook on Azure Notebooks platform. If I saying correctly, Anna, this is Azure
That's
Notebooks
correct.
platform.
Yep,
And another one, I think you are trying to digress, another great service, which is an Azure ML platform, maybe?
that's correct. Yeah.
Cool. So I think this is an enough scenario to build. What I will do is I will switch it over to Anna, and Anna, I think you can probably take us that to the tour of these two great services. Over to you, Anna.
Well, thank you, Shimael. Feel free to ask questions, interrupt me, and correct me as I go along.
Sure.
Let me share my screen. Let me know when you'll see in my screen.
Mm,
Okay.
yes.
So let me talk to you about Jupyter Notebooks on Azure. If you are a data scientist and you already don't want to set up a virtual machine, or you already have one, but you are curious about what else can I have, you don't want to manage the infrastructure, you don't want to have to take care of the updates, or you are like me that I don't want to deal with any machines, then your first option and your first step would be to look at Jupyter Notebooks on Azure. It is free, so you can have get a better experience on what's available there and how can you work. It is useful in any workspace for data scientists, developers. If you're just trying to figure out what is this, go ahead and look it up. You can have multiple language support, Python, R, F Sharp, and it runs on Azure Cloud Services, which is always accessible. And it doesn't matter what kind of browser that you have.
Sure.
If you're looking to find how does this work, I'm not really sure that I know what data science or can I find. I actually have found a lot of examples of things that I wanted to do and I couldn't figure it out. In this GitHub repositories, you have Azure Machine Learning to get it started. It guides you through the whole process, linear regression, the data science handbook, and there's a large number of repositories that you can take a look at. The programming languages supported are Python 2, 3, R. So if you have something earlier than 1, the 2, you may want to upgrade it a little bit to Python, at least 2, and F Sharp. And who is using this great notebooks? Great institutions like Cambridge, They go Georgia Tech, Berkeley, NYU, and they're doing this to introduce not only the students to Python, but also to teach Python to their students on a very affordable and easy to use platform.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me show you what is exactly does this look like. When you log in into, so here, if you want to log in, you go on the top right corner and you see this little icon. I'm already logged in, but you will see a sign in. Just click there and you can either use your live Microsoft account, or if you have an Azure account or an Office 365 account, you can use that to log in because it's free. You don't have to have anything that it's paid behind. So this is the little projects that you have. As you can see, they can be stopped or you can be run. So because you only pay, or actually you will, if you're let me rephrase this. You can hook your computers or your projects to accounts that are free, or you can sync it to a different account that has a bigger machine. So, and as long as you're using this, it will be running. But if you don't want to use it anymore, you can stop it, and it stops automatically. So this is let me show you an example of a straight data science experiment or use case, which is you have data that other people are going to use and you want to anonymize. Here is what I was showing you here. You can run on your free compute, or you can direct compute to a particular Azure IP address that has been stand up for you somewhere else.
Got it. So I think at this point I have a quick question. So are
Yes.
you saying that I can start on this platform even having no Azure subscription, no account previously? I can start for free?
Yes, that's correct.
What do I need then?
You just need Windows, a Microsoft Live account. That's all you really need.
So I can use my Outlook or Hotmail
Yeah.
ID and just jumpstart on this, and this is a free service with a free compute available.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference? What do I get something more if I do the Azure subscription with you?
If you get the Azure subscription, then you will be able to connect to bigger machines, like direct compute by specifying an IP address. So if you need more power, you can connect directly to that IP address, and it will be faster. Here is the notebook that I have right here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wait until we open it up a little bit. Come on. This is the project that I see. One of the things I like about this is that you can directly add files here. So you can upload your files from here. You can add folders if you want to, and you can have a launcher to run your stuff. This is you can also have a markup file that would allow you to put instructions for other people to read. So this is the original sample that I said. You can also click on it and look at the file right here directly. So you can, you can right here look at your data. What do I have here? Well, this is loading. Let me bring you back. You can import your libraries as if you were running any Python. So you don't have to install any extra libraries. You don't have to upload them. They're already there. So you just got to do an import for NumPy and Pandas. The usual things that we use as Python developers. The basics are already there. And for this particular example, I'm going to be using a package that is not generally installed. So you can use import with pip and install this faker library that will replace names, email addresses, and other personal information for fake information. So you can still keep the integrity of your data, but you cannot really easily recognize who are actually looking at. This you import more of your collections, and then you can create functions just like anything else. And this, I created a little structure that then you can replace the name, first name, last name, email, and phone number for a fake collection from the faker library. And once you're completed, then it takes the whole thing and into another pandas framework, and you finally you can look at your data and you can save it here to another data set. So you can see these two files are created. You can look at all your files right here. You can look at your tabs. You can look at your tools that you have. You can change slide types. You have all the commands right here. And then you can see this is already running. So if you want to shut it down because you're in the middle of process or you want to change something, this is a very good tool that you can use if you're a beginner for data for Python libraries, Python, notebooks.
Wow, this is definitely exciting. What else do we have here on the menu?
Um, so you can also set up. You want to restart your kernel. You can shut down your kernel or change the kernel that you want to use. So if you want to change from Python 2 to another one, you can set this up too. So, it was supposed to be Python 3.6. You select it and you change it to that kernel. Now, if you want to change this to a different environment and you are thinking that this will be great, but I really am looking more into using a visual interface instead of trying to figure this whole thing out, then we have Azure Machine Learning Studio.
Oh, so this is what Azure Machine Learning Workspaces actually can talk about, right? That's what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So what does it take to create a machine learning workspace in Azure?
For Machine Learning Workspace, you actually have to have an account, an Azure account, and you need to create a Machine Learning Workspace on Azure, or have somebody create it for you.
Is it easy to create? What's the process like?
Super easy. So here, let me just go here. I'm gonna do add a workspace.
Are you using Azure Marketplace to launch this workspace?
Yes. You go to the marketplace and just type machine learning, and because we have all these different things, you can just hit create, and you just set up the name of your workspace, where is it going, the resource group, and the location, and then you can set up your pricing details. Basic detail, it gives you some of the really cool stuff, but it doesn't really give you the designer feature, the graphic interface. So I will definitely go for enterprise if you want to check it for the first time. It takes exactly, I don't know, 5 minutes to get it going. And then once you have your Machine Learning Studio, you log in, you go to ml.azure.com, and it will bring you to this. Once you have your workspace, it will bring you to this is the main page. I love this page, and I can tell you a little bit about my experience with data science. I was taking a lot of courses on Python and R and putting it all together and all this complicated things that you can do for modeling and data science. And then I learned about Azure Machine Learning Studio, and it really changed my life. Because although I have an understanding of all of I don't have to write all these things on my own. All I really need to do is start this designer here, and it brings you to a graphical interface. So let me show you what a great thing you can do here. You have your data. So I have raw data that I have from a CSV file. I can select my columns from here, and it guides you all along to split your data. What kind of model do you want? Then you train your model, you score, and you evaluate the model. And you didn't spend 3 hours or 4 hours trying to put all this thing together. It's just a drag and drop. Now, if you have special needs of things, a lot of this visual interface might not have all the features that you need, but you need to customize some stuff, and you can create a Python model here, and you can execute a Python script. Either one, just drag and drop here, and then you can enter your code right here. I love this part because it allows you to just enter the little pieces of code that you might need, in order to improve your model.
So hold on. So let me take a step back here because I'm pretty amazed here to see this feature. Are you saying that all the cleansing, the transformation, the data wrangling that we were doing as a Python developer in the Python script does not need to be done there? We can do it more visually here. But when it's time to execute the Python on the cleansed or transformed data to go to the next step, I can still execute the custom Python code. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct, and I love that feature. Yes, you're totally correct. It saves you a lot of time trying to figure out why is that my. I don't know if you have experienced this, but you get your data from a CSV file, and then you spend hours trying to figure out how do I convert this thing from to the right type of numpy value,
Ah,
integer 32, and it doesn't convert. This takes care of all that nuance. It takes the data from you. It cleans the missing data,
mhm.
and you can do the entire row, replace with a mean, all of these things that you will spend hours trying to set it up. You can just do this by drag and drop.
Wow.
Split the data, linear regression, the whole
Mm.
entire thing.
So I see a data transformation and input output task on the left. Is it
Mm-hmm.
very exhaustive? Is it very basic? How it looks like? Is it a
No, look at this. You can join data, you can normalize the data that you already done. You can select columns and transform them right there. And I'd say, change this data from a string to integer or other or float if you need to. You can convert the entire thing to a CSV file. You
Mm-hmm.
take your data from SQL, for example, or from Mongo, and bring it in, and then save it to a CSV file. You can remove all the duplication of records. It is extensive. Now, there are certain limitations, I would say. For example, if you have a very complex JSON files, you may need to extract some part of that information. That's where you probably will need to import, use some of that code for a Python script. So let's say that you have a very a JSON file that has several levels of information, and you just need to extract that bottom level of that JSON file. You can use a Python model, a Python script to pull out that information, and then from there you can continue to split your data and train your model and clean it and all that.
This
So
this this is just mind blowing. I would say amazing. I mean, all this daunting task I have been doing. I don't think I need to code it anymore. I do see a notebooks section here. Is it different from Azure notebooks that you showed us, or is it something more exhaustive? What is this notebooks thing? I mean.
it is also a Jupyter notebook base. And you can add your notebooks here, and then you can, when you're using your designer, you can pull in some of the notebooks too. So I take my notebook and run it. You can do that from here. Uh, so if you look at your notebooks, let's look at the sample. So I don't. We have a large number of libraries for Python. Let me so you can look at my experiment. My first machine learning experiment, image classification with data, regression, information. And then if you are an R fan, you can also look at some of the code for R. And you can have both R and Python run the same model. If you have a designer, you can import both of them, which I found that amazing.
Wow.
Um, so let me look at a Python notebook, how to use create your ML. You open this and it gives you the data, how do you load it, and you can follow this step by step to get an idea of how this whole thing works in the studio. It is a pretty powerful tool, particularly for those who are not interested or do not want to spend a lot of time coding. I think this is actually a much better tool because it just walks you through the entire thing. You can also have your datasets uploaded directly here. You can upload large Excel files, CSV files. You can also run experiments if you want to. You can have your models register here, and you can manage your compute, your data stores, and data labeling if you want to add some metadata to your files.
Oh, that okay. So that's very interesting. Now I'm understanding. Now it's making sense to me. You're saying that if you're a jump starter on the data science and you don't want to use a virtual machine, start your journey free with Azure Notebooks platform, which is notebooks.azure.com. Correct? And then
Yes, that's correct.
once you have a flavor for that Python execution, start doing the Azure subscription either through your personal Azure subscription or through the educational organization. They will give you that subscription or access to that subscription. Once you have that subscription, launch an ML workspace there, and
Yes,
using that ML workspace, start using more of a designer approach of the Python development. Wherever need of Python is, do that, but design the cleansing, transformation, wrangling using the designer. And when it's really about still playing end-to-end notebooks, that feature is still available in a more integrated, more approachable way in the notebooks area. And
that's
I
correct.
think another thing that you showed me, the whole end-to-end ML ops or machine learning ops that we call it is built into this platform where starting creating the pythons and then delivering them to organization, hosting those models, endpoint hosting,
Yes,
setting up the compute, data storage, data classification, data annotations, and then labeling them. Everything is built into one platform. That
one platform.
amazing.
You don't have to do anything other than just taking this and take it from end, from the beginning to the end, and then you can just configure this and have this share with people who are going to consume your models.
Yeah, and believe me, I don't see you going back to Azure portal again and again,
Yeah,
doing all this
this
stuff, meaning you don't need to use Azure portal more. You are just in this workspace environment.
yes. Imagine and machine learning studio azure.com. It will help you. You can do the entire thing here. If you go home, you can look at all your projects right here and there. You can so it is. I love this because it's in one place for all my experiments, and then I can also not only follow up and manage them, but I can also automatically train and tune my model using a target metric. So if you guys have seen AI for Good, where we have a lot of picture, a lot of machine processing images, you can set this up to automatically tune your model after you get if you get a new picture, for example, of a snow leopard or a new kind of a bird, it comes into your blob storage, and then you can automate the entire process to train and tune your model as the images keep coming in.
Amazing, amazing. Anna, thank you very much. I think that's really a beneficial platform, whether it's an Azure Notebook itself or the machine learning workspaces itself. But I think this is definitely a value add where now you are trying to go beyond data science virtual machines and do more with a more cost efficient, time efficient manner and more scalable manner, right?
It is.
Thanks for joining, and I think we'll be doing more episodes with Anna. And you saw that there is a lot to cover here, but really from the Jumpstart perspective, we wanted to cover in a smaller chunks. So you will be seeing Anna more on the deep dive side of it very
Thank you.
soon. But I think that was beneficial. Thanks, Anna, again. Thanks for joining.
Thank you very much, Mile. Have a great
And
day.
bye. Thanks for joining, guys. And I think let's wait for the another episode, and we will cover another short scenario covering some other aspects of data science jumpstart. So be with us. Subscribe to the channel because that's how exactly you will get notified any new coming episodes coming to you. Thanks for joining again. Have a wonderful day. Bye.